Hey, Liberty lovers, welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? I'm Jeff, and today we're diving into the Third Amendment, the Constitution's quiet champion of liberty. If you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, smash that like button and subscribe to join the freedom fight. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, hit that follow to stay in the Liberty loop. Let's get smarter together and unpack why this amendment is a big deal for libertarians. A little bit of the history. Ratified in 1791 with the rest of the Bill of Rights, the Third Amendment says, and I quote, "No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law." Close quote. It's straightforward but powerful. Back in colonial times, the British Quartering Acts of 1765 and 1774 forced colonists to house and feed redcoats, often in their own homes. Picture soldiers crashing on your couch, eating your food with zero say. That's the government overreach that helped ignite the American Revolution. For libertarians, the Third Amendment is a love letter to property rights and personal autonomy. The Cato Institute scholars would nod along with us. It's about keeping your home your castle, free from state intrusion, especially from the military. When James Madison pitched the Bill of Rights in 1789, he was addressing anti-federalist fears of a federal government with too much power, like a standing army bossing citizens around. Sound familiar? As libertarians, we're still skeptical of government creeping into our lives through taxes, regulation, or militarized police. This amendment isn't just history, it's a warning against state overreach. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment. Why should your home stay off limits to the government? Now, let's move to the Supreme Court, where the Third Amendment has made some surprising cameos. Supreme Court and referencing to the Third Amendment. We're rolling on Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? We're digging into the truth of the Third Amendment's role in protecting liberty. If you're loving this on YouTube or Rumble, hit that subscribe button and comment. Tell me your favorite amendment. Mine personally is the Fourth Amendment. Well, no, I'll take that back, the 10th Amendment. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, follow us to keep the liberty vibe going. The Supreme Court hasn't ruled directly on the Third Amendment, but it's popped up in key cases that hit right at our libertarian love for privacy and limited government. First, we have Griswold v. Connecticut, 1965. The court struck down a Connecticut law banning contraceptives, recognizing a right to privacy in marriage. Justice William Douglas cited the Third Amendment alongside the First, Fourth, and Ninth, creating penumbras of privacy. The idea: banning soldiers from home protects it from government intrusion. For libertarians, this is huge. We love unenumerated rights, like those backed by the Ninth Amendment. The Cato Institute's Libertarian Constitution pushes this hard, but some libertarians who lean strict textualists might grumble about the numbers being too interpretive. So what is your take? Comment on Rumble if you're team textualist or team penumbras. I'm honestly team penumbras. I'm not a textualist. Next, we got Cato v. United States in 1967. This case gave us the reasonable expectation of privacy test for the Fourth Amendment. In a footnote, Justice Potter Stewart called the Third Amendment a shield against government snooping. As libertarians, we cheer. Keeping the state out of your home, whether it's soldiers or surveillance, that's our thing. But it makes you wonder, could this apply to the NSA spying today? Now, we'll get into that. Then there's Leonard v. Cato in 1972. The court dismissed a challenge to an Army surveillance program targeting civilians, but noted the Third Amendment shows America's strong resistance to military meddling. Libertarians like Cato's Clark Neely loved this civilian control angle, but hated the court didn't slam the surveillance. Government spying, not cool. These cases tie the Third Amendment to privacy and military limits. That's libertarian gold right there. If you're on Spotify, share this episode to spread the word. Let's hit the lower courts where the Third Amendment's actually gone into battle. And some of them have been wins. We are keeping this liberty train moving on Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian, diving deep into the Third Amendment. If you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, smash that like button and subscribe. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, hit the follow to stay liberty smart. The Supreme Court's given the Third Amendment some nods, but lower courts have put it to the test. Let's check out these cases through our libertarian lenses, where property rights and government limits are everything we need in this world. Lower court cases and the Third Amendment. This is going to be good. It's going to be a little nuanced. The standout in this entire group is Engblom v. Carey in 1982, the Second Circuit Court case from New York. Striking prison guards were evicted from their state-owned residence at a correctional facility, and National Guard members moved in as replacements. The guards sued, claiming a Third Amendment violation. The court ruled that tenants count as owners. National Guard members are soldiers, and the Third Amendment applies to states via the 14th. This is a libertarian home run, expanding property rights to tenants and checking state power. Scholar Ila Somin called it a privacy win, but the case got dismissed because officials claim, listen to this, that they didn't know the law, citing qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is a libertarian nightmare. Government officials should be accountable for violating our rights. Then there's Mitchell v. City of Henderson in 2015. A Nevada man said police used his home as a lookout point without consent, violating the Third Amendment. The court said no, police aren't soldiers. Libertarians like Cato's crew aren't buying it. With police rocking military gear and SWAT tactics, the line's blurry. Someone wrote in a Washington Post op-ed piece that this missed a chance to tackle police militarization, and that's a huge libertarian concern. Should your home be safe from any government intrusion? Drop a comment on YouTube. And now we get into some quirky cases. The United States v. Valenzuela in 1951 claimed rent control laws were like quartering stormtroopers. That was shot down. Jones, the United States Secretary of Defense in 1972, said the amendment let reservists skip a parade, also a no-go, whatever. These show courts keeping the amendment scope very narrow, which frustrates some libertarians who want broader protections against government overreach. If you're on Rumble, tell me, should police count as soldiers? Now let's explore why the Third Amendment still matters in 2025. And most of you are probably like, well, we've not really seen it a lot. Here's the modern relevance and some libertarian applications. We're powering through Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? We're unpacking why the Third Amendment is still a liberty rock star. If you're loving this on YouTube or Rumble, hit that subscribe and leave a comment. Tell us what you think. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, follow us to keep the liberty fire burning. We've covered history, Supreme Court nods, and lower court fights. Now let's talk about why this amendment matters for us today as libertarians and as Americans as a whole. First, property and privacy. The Third Amendment says your home is off limits to uninvited soldiers. That's Property Rights 101. And libertarians like Timothy Satterford at Cato eat it up. Engblom tenant protections strengthen this. Its role in Griswold and Cass ties into privacy. Think NSA surveillance or smart home datagrams. The Libertarian Constitution pushes unenumerated rights. So could the Third Amendment fight modern snooping? You tell me in the comments below. Next, militarization. The Third Amendment's about civilians' control over the military. This is libertarian catnip. We love it. Cato's Clark Neely slams militarized police like SWAT teams with tanks. Mitchell's police aren't soldiers ruling. It kind of bugs us. Redley Blanco calls the amendment the Constitution's runt piglet, but sees its potential against no-knock raids. Shouldn't your home be safe from any state force? Tell me in the comments and let me know. Some like Amherst, Austin, Surratt call the Third Amendment a constitutional vestige since military bases exist. Libertarians and the Brennan Center say no way. It's vital for emergencies, terror attacks, or police overreach. The Supreme Court's Bruin decision in 2022 with Justice Thomas's historical analogies could apply to modern intrusions like eminent domain. Ilya Sumpkin's Kello work hints at this. Challenges. The amendment's narrow soldiers focus and qualified immunity, like in Engblom, limited. Libertarians want accountability. If you're on Spotify, share this to spread the word. Let's wrap this up with why we keep fighting for this quiet protector. Now, you may be going, wow, this is a lot of information. I'm going to have everything where I got all this information from cited in the description below on all platforms. So, a conclusion and a call to action. We're wrapping up here on Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? I'm Jeff, and we've gone deep into the Third Amendment. No other podcast will do this when it comes to libertarianism, the Constitution's quiet guardian. If you're on YouTube or Rumble, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment. What's your take on liberty? On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, follow us and share this episode to spread the liberty love. Let's close out with why this amendment is a libertarian lifeline. The Third Amendment never starred in a Supreme Court case, but Griswold, Cass, and Laird tied it to privacy and civilian control. Engblom v. Casey shows its power to protect property, even for tenants. For libertarians, it's a shield against government overreach, soldiers, police, or spies. In 2025, with militarized police, NSA surveillance, and emergency powers looming, it's more relevant than ever. The Supreme Court's Bruin decision could give it new life against intrusions like Kilo's property grab. But barriers like qualified immunity and narrow readings hold it back, which in some respects I can see being valid. Cato's Libertarian Constitution keeps it for a reason. It's liberty's guardrail. And here's your call to action. Get loud about the Third Amendment. No one really talks about it, but we need to talk about it. Read up at the Brennan Center or Cato sites. Links will be in the YouTube descriptions. Share your thoughts on Rumble or X at Jeff Metrick. Ask, if soldiers can't crash in your home, why should police or surveillance? Push for accountability and privacy protection. The Third Amendment's rarity in court means it's working. Let's keep it that way. Are you smarter than a libertarian? I know you're just as smart as we are. This is Jeff Metrick signing off. Keep your home your castle. Thank you for tuning in to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? Subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Share this with your Liberty crew. Until next time, stay free, stay informed, stay accountable. Content drops every day and podcasts once a week on Mondays.